Hey, I know it's baseball season, it's the NFL season, and it's college football season, but we've got to talk some hockey. Hockey like perhaps you've never have seen it here on a special edition of the Chain Gang Sports Show. We want to give a big shout out to the U.S. News and Entertainment Network for producing this show.
So please like, subscribe, and share.
The Chain Gang Sports Show recorded us live, as always, from the Flagler Voice Podcast Studios in association with the U.S. News and Entertainment Network. Things are truly better with us. Johnny Monte Carlo, Tommy Thunder in the house with our producer Alan behind the controls. And today, a special edition of the Chain Gang Sports Show. Tommy, we've got the Central Florida Warriors on board and live, remote. I love these remote.
I think it's excellent what they do.
Yes, it's
amazing,
excellent,
actually.
and very much needed. And our guest today, representing the Central Florida Warriors, co-founder and vice president of operations, that's Austin Holthouse, joining us live along with the Warriors player, none other than Nick La Viviane. Welcome, gentlemen, to the Chain Gang Sports Show.
Thanks for having us.
Nick's waving from the library.
All right. We've got Nick, we've got Austin, and you can hear us, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Hey, the first question I want to ask is, how long have the Central Florida Warriors been operational?
So we started in the summer of 2022. So we're finishing up our fourth year and heading into our fifth year, which we got some special stuff in store for our fifth anniversary. So 2027 is the fifth year we'll have been running the program, and we'll have grown from about 15 players to about 90. And so that took us from one team of varied skill levels to four different teams that are tailored to skill level.
That's fantastic.
That is. And people can go in and pull up some video of the Central Florida Warriors on screen. You can pull up, see some of the, I guess it was a practice session and now do you have where you play competitive games or just have the players take on one another like intramural style?
So the way we're set up, the most important thing we feel we do are the monthly practices. So the idea there is to get as many players as we can, and we practice at three different rinks in Orlando, Kissimmee, and Daytona, and we try and bring everybody together. Usually get about a third of the program, about 30 some players every month for a practice. We do drills and things like that. And I said we got a broad range of players, from extremely good players that played growing up and all the way to people who just bought their skates 2 or 3 weeks ago. So getting them in every month and seeing each other because we consider it therapeutic recreation. So we're bringing disabled veterans together. We look eye to eye with each other, make sure everybody's doing okay. But then we branch off into those four teams and we do competitive events, and we fall under kind of organizationally, not tied in any way, but just kind of how we follow our program under the USA Hockey Warrior program. So that's actually USA Hockey through their Warrior program, and that's for disabled veterans, and they have two tournaments a year. The Warrior National Championships and the Warrior Classic. And that's where we go for competitive stuff. We do other tournaments and games in Florida and in other locations. For instance, we're going down to South Florida September 11th weekend to do a 9/11 Memorial Tournament that's hosted by the Florida Panthers Warriors that they're doing down there with military and first responder teams.
Right, because you're associated with the Orlando Solar Bears who play out there.
Correctly. They support us. They announce us as one of their partners at games and things like that. We're able to go do what they call a Rink of Dreams game, where you go to the Kia Center and you actually play a game before the game, and then they'll usually let us drop the puck at their Military Appreciation Night or on Veterans Day. So it's really fun to do that. Everybody enjoys doing that.
I think I think it's so important that we honor the veterans, and I think you guys are doing a great thing. I think it's a great program in order to keep these guys. Nick, what do you are you what level do you fall into as far as the skill level category?
For me. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yep. So there's 3 levels. I play on the A team. There's a high level tier. There's a
Attaboy.
2
The
level
8 team.
Yeah. Yep.
That's great. Good for you.
Good to be
Yeah,
a
and then-
part of the A team. I had a feeling Nick wasn't one of the guys that just bought his
Yeah,
skates.
he wasn't one of the new skates guys.
No, he's not. And
No.
thanks to the
Well, I'll tell you,
growth of
Austin,
the team, we're able to make that 4 next year. So we're going from a A, B, and C team to a next another team just because of the number of players we have. It helps us keep the scope of the players and the skill levels as tightly as we can, so they don't feel like they're either losing out or they're getting run off the rink or something like that. So it's really important that
Gotcha.
we do that.
I think that's important. That's truly important. I think that's a great thing. Now, let me ask you a question. The Panthers Warrior program, are you the only 2 programs for the Warrior programs in Florida?
No, good question. Jacksonville, the Icemen, the ECHL team there, they have the Jacksonville Icemen Warriors. And you'll notice the naming nomenclature, everybody's called the Warriors. It's just to keep us all as a fraternity. Yeah. And then the Tampa Bay Lightning Warriors, the Panthers Warriors. We're I guess you could call it the most unaffiliated. So even though we do have an affiliation with the Solar Bears, they aren't part of our funding. We don't have any restrictions like with merchandise and things like that. Our logo is our logo. We can use it however we want. Some of the other organizations do run into that, but there's 4 of them in Florida and about, I'd say 24 at least around the country. And some of them you might recognize, like, the Philadelphia Flyers Warriors, the Pittsburgh Penguins Warriors, the St. Louis Blues Warriors, the Dallas Stars Warriors, Minnesota Warriors. So a lot of them do have NHL affiliation, and a lot of them don't. But all of us are disabled veteran hockey organizations.
That's fantastic, boy. I tell you what.
So the NHL really has been very inviting and welcoming to this, and why not, right?
And then you got these guys here in Orlando doing it on their own. I think that's amazing.
And what I see on the website, the uniforms, they look excellent.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I like those uniforms.
See
if I can get some of the merch
jersey. I got my Jim Craig USA jersey.
Yeah. You guys have my info. I can get you a jersey. I can get you a jersey, by all means. Yeah.
All right.
There you go. We'll promote that. Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll definitely wear that. Hockey season, we do a good job. I think we do a great job of covering all sports, but I'm a huge Ranger fan, I'm a huge hockey fan. Season tickets to the Rangers, Blackhawks, going wherever I lived. And I think that this is a program that you're going to see every NHL team will probably gravitate to. I think it's important. I think our veterans need to know that they matter. I truly do. I mean, I sometimes, you think about going back from when my father, the veterans were sometimes forgotten. They were lost in the whole thing. And I think that this is just a great program, and we will definitely do everything we can to endorse it.
Oh, it has the support of the Chain Gang Sports Show for sure.
For sure.
And absolutely. Why not?
Let me tell you.
Yeah, we'll even maybe put together something. When you guys do something in Daytona, I'd love to do something. Yeah. Maybe we could do a show down there and from the arena and talk about Warrior hockey the whole time we're there.
100%.
We got Nick back. I think he was busy checking somebody into the boards.
I am back. Yes.
He is back.
To go back to where
Nick, I have a suggestion. Change your carrier.
Yeah, I have Spectrum Mobile, so we're still working on it.
All right, so do I. So I get it.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes. I actually used to play for the New Jersey Warriors when I used to live up in the Northeast. And when I came down to Florida, I connected with these guys and just kind of fell right back into it. For me, the Warriors represent more than just the military support and connecting with the guys. And I've been playing hockey my whole life. So I can always find my tribe, if you will, wherever I go. Find a hockey community, or find a local team, or play a pickup game. This is almost like you feel kind of I want to say the word. You don't feel like you feel professional, but it's more than that. You travel with the team. My son sees me, like, all our gear matches. Like, it's more than just a beer league. It's a support all the way around from the organization. Um, my dad passed, 3 years ago, and continue his um, legacy of, teaching me the game and teaching my son the game. It keeps that game alive in me, and it helps me with all the military stuff I got going on. So that's what the program gives me.
That's fantastic.
Well stated.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, no, me too. I think, like you say, the tribe, the community, the hockey community, it really exists. It truly exists. And, like I said, I think the more awareness, the more people know about it, I think the more support it'll get as well. Because I'm sure you have that feeling of walking into a locker room, coming out and skating onto the ice before, I'm sure it gives you that true feeling of what it must be like at the pro level or semi-pro level. I mean, that's what it's about.
It truly does. I mean, just the quality of the organization and the leadership, and just the way they organize events, and just the quality of the craftsmanship of the jerseys alone. Like, this is probably, I've been playing hockey my whole life. It's probably the best, like, um jersey I've ever wore. Really, I can honestly say that. Yeah.
Nick, it's funny you say that because I believe the swag tells the story. I truly believe that. I think if you've got great, if you came out there with the printed, the logo on there that's fallen off and faded, that nobody's going to take you seriously. You come out in a jersey like that. That's a beautiful. I'm a jersey fanatic and a collector, so I know all about how important the swag is, and that's a great jersey, great logo, something people are going to want to get just to have it in their jersey collection. I know I need one. For sure. And hockey jerseys are fantastic. I even got the ones I even get to make sure I get the ones with the straps so they can't pull the jersey over my head in a fight.
Absolutely. Yeah. The fight straps. Yep. That's when the jersey.
Is that what they call them? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. I don't know what they call it. I call them that. They're probably called something more technical, but
I think that's a great name.
So who's your team?
Nick, I think we should patent that name, brother. I think we can make a fortune on the fight straps because that's really, especially back 10 years ago when fighting was, they used to say, I went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. That was the line, but it made it a little tougher penalty wise, so it can hurt the team more than help. But
there's a lot of truth in what you say, and especially when it comes to jerseys, because you usually show up in something different. You've got a wide range. In fact, if you owned a sub shop, Tommy, it would have to be called Jersey Tom's.
That's brutal. You got to excuse this man's humor. There it is. No, but seriously, I think a great way, we do have a lot of people that come onto go onto the website that watch the show. We do get, our live show now with food sponsors becomes more. I think it would be great that when you guys are in Daytona to do a show, do it right there from the rink, being able to maybe get behind the scenes and see what these guys are able to, to do, in front of the cameras.
Absolutely. We've got some skilled guys in our organization. Some of them played semi-pro. Especially our A division team. It's no walk in the park that the A division. I can tell you that for sure. Like, I'm pushing 40, and it's not like I trained for this either.
You're 25, bro.
I kind of just a weekend warrior, kind of digging it out on the ice, but this keeps me young.
Man,
he's right there with.
Sorry.
That's good.
Nick's right there with LeBron and Messi, though.
Yeah,
right in that they're in the prime.
Yeah, at 40s. That's it.
Exactly. I'm just warming up.
Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey, now we've switched. Now we've got Nick up top.
Yeah, I think it goes. I think Alan's just
and Austin
moving him around,
switching him around just to keep us guessing in a way. Hey, we're talking with the co-founder of the Central Florida Warriors. That's Austin Holthouse. and Holthouse rather, and one of the players on the Central Florida Warriors
Don't forget
team,
the 18, Central Florida 18.
the A team.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, that's
forget that.
important
Nick,
to
we don't want
say.
to
A
sell
team.
Nick short at all.
Yes, no, A team is important to state. Nick La Viviane, and they're here live with us via remote. And let me tell you, we appreciate it because as we expand our reach, trying to talk to people instead of having them always in the studio. This is important. We like to
Yeah,
get all
and
the
I think
bugs
this is
worked
one of
out.
the most important shows we've done. I mean, we've done
It is
Little League and the softball and the Umpires Association, but in
for
a time that
substance.
this
Yeah,
country
very
needs,
important.
the war, these veterans and first responders, it's so important to make sure that we recognize the sacrifices they've made, and now they're playing sports and being able to still compete at the, despite injuries,
Much respect to
disabilities. Yeah,
anyone that takes, even if it's not in wartime. And
no,
myself, I'm
but it
a
is. We've been in
non-veteran.
wartime for
Oh
30
yes,
years.
oh yes. There's constantly something going on somewhere.
Yeah.
But just to say, to take time away from your family and to do what
Yeah.
to what
provide
Austin and Nick
the
have
freedom
done,
in
and
which we live. I
yeah,
mean, that's what they do.
we wouldn't be able to have this
And
opportunity.
I think more Americans, I think the flag flies prouder now than it has. We've done it. We went into a lapse of forgetting how important it is because we weren't in wartime. And now that we've been involved in so many things, these veterans are so important to everything. First responders, so important to everything we do.
Well, the world is very unstable right now,
Sure is.
and it has been for quite some time. So,
Austin, how did this idea come about? Was it following seeing the other programs?
Yeah. So, in my head, I retired from the Air Force in 2017, and having gone to college at FSU and having my parents down in Sarasota, my oldest was about to start high school. We decided it was time. My wife had been active duty and been retired for about 10 years by the time I was ready to retire, and we were ready to settle down. And so I hadn't played hockey at that point. I'd played for about a year, but I hadn't played in between that year and the previous time for about 10 years. And so hockey was something that I wanted to get back into. And we just happened to come down to the Space Coast over in the Melbourne area, and lucky enough to have a rink over where I live in Rockledge. And I started playing again. And I had a friend that I was skating with who's an Army veteran, Dre Montgomery, who is part of the team. He does live over in Tampa now. And I kind of found out about the Panthers Warriors. So I got a hold of them. And during COVID 2020, there wasn't a lot to do, but Florida was open enough that we could go play hockey. So I started playing with them a little bit, but that's a 2.5, 3 hour drive for me. So I kind of started having this idea, well, maybe we should start one in Central Florida, because there wasn't one at the time, between South Florida and Tampa. And I knew we had multiple rinks in the area, and Orlando's obviously a pretty big spot for hockey in Florida. The Solar Bears are incredibly popular.
Yeah, they are.
And so I just happened to see Nick Mills was asking about Central Florida and hockey, because he had come from the Minnesota Warriors when he moved down here. And so we just kind of hooked up at random, if you will, in July of 2022. And then, no kidding, in 3 or 4 weeks, we had we had filed for our nonprofit status through the state of Florida. We were forming our board. We were getting our players together. We were drafting our 501c3 IRS tax exemption paperwork. We were starting to line up donors. It just kind of started coming fast and furious. And having played on a Warrior team, been around those guys, and kind of like Nick said, you find your tribe, and that's for us. A lot of us, it is on the ice, it's in the locker room, it's in the beverages of choice afterwards. That's where you find it, and you find a lot of that in the military too. When you go through hard things together with people, you form bonds that are really hard to break. And you may go through, dozens and dozens and dozens of people that you do those kinds of things with, but it's always there with you. So, and I think that's where it kind of all comes together for us. And I saw an opportunity to help veterans, and, Nick Mills and I just kind of plugged our way forward, and 4.5 years later, here we are.
Yeah.
And Austin, you were a Warrior before, though. You went to FSU?
Yeah. Seminole. Go Knowles.
Yeah, I mean, Seminole.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, a Warrior.
Yeah,
But
the Warrior.
yeah, the Warrior. Yeah.
Throws the flag down.
Go Knowles.
Yeah. My daughter, go
I-
Knowles. That's it, baby. My daughter, one of my daughters graduated from Florida State.
Like I said, I even got my son to go there. He went there on his own. I didn't ask him to. So, but yeah, two generation of Knowles in this household.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, listen, try being in my house, brother. I had 3 girls. One graduated from Florida, the other one Florida State, the other one UCF.
Okay.
So you can imagine the color schemes that I wear on a Saturday.
Right. Yeah. Yep. I get it. It's those. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead, Austin. Finish.
It's just we were kind of talking a little bit earlier about like the NHL and stuff like that. And one of the things I wanted to bring up real quickly was an opportunity we had in February of 2023. So there we are, about 8 months old as an organization, and we got selected by Navy Federal Credit Union to go to the NHL Stadium Series game in Raleigh, North Carolina. So the Washington Capitals and the Carolina Hurricanes were playing in North Carolina State, the Wolfpack Stadium, an outdoor game in February of that year. And here's little old Central Florida Warriors with about 15, 20 players. And you talk about being treated like rock stars. We got flown up there. We got uniforms. We got to play in a couple games, and we were at center ice for the national anthem, holding the flag for an NHL outdoor stadium series game. Those are the kinds of things.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there were 3 other programs, all veterans. One was an active duty Green Beret team that was out of Fort Bragg. Another kind of national chapter of a veterans team. And then another veteran organization from I forget where in the country. So you had 60 veterans on the ice holding the flag for the national anthem, and they do that every year. They send Warrior teams to these things every year, and it's absolutely amazing. First class, probably one of the coolest things I've ever done. And we got to know each other, like you never could imagine as an adult, getting to know your friends like that at an event like that. So those are the kinds of things that we do hope continue to grow, and that opportunities.
Let me ask you a question. We do have a Yeah, I think that, of course, the NHL is what you want to go for. But I mean, as far as trying to get you guys more recognition in that Daytona area, we do have D. Cook who's the head of marketing for the. D?
I don't know.
Okay, well, he's the head of marketing and stuff for the Tortugas, and we'd love to get you guys. Maybe we can work something out where the Warriors can do something at a Tortugas game. I know they give away hockey jerseys, and they weren't bad.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I know Chris Griffin, our president, he lives in Daytona. So what am I going to do?
Okay. I think maybe we'll get Austin to throw the
Go ahead, Nick.
Should be at her Tortugas game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, Austin. And if you bounce it, they'll come after you, brother.
I can't do worse than some of these celebrities you see at MLB.
Oh my gosh, isn't it bad? My favorite story is about that was when Jeter told President Bush after 9/11. He goes, "What?" He goes, "You have any suggestions to me?" And Jeter looked at him and said, "Don't bounce it." To the president during just right after 9/11. So
yeah, you want to make sure you're wearing your cup.
Yeah, well, you want to make sure that. I just think it would be a great thing.
Yeah.
Together, especially if them working out in Daytona, I think that'd be a great little connection.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I was referring to the first pitch or anything like. Oh yeah, you never know.
50 Cent. I think
50 one of those high hoppers there.
50 Cent was probably the worst one.
50 Cent.
Yeah. Oh,
that comes to my mind too.
About 25, huh?
What's that, brother?
So that comes to my mind too. I think he missed by about 18 feet.
Oh, it was, and it looked terrible. I mean, even looking, it almost looked like Charles Barkley's golf swing.
Yeah,
50 Cent at a reduced price.
Cent.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hey, well, now I wanted to ask you, Nick and Austin, who's the enforcer out there on the ice, and who's the Gretzky? Who's the high scorer?
Well,
if not yourselves, anyone come to mind?
It's definitely not me. It's definitely not me. Like I said, we have a guy, Navy veteran, who played a little semi-pro over in Finland as a youngster. When his back isn't acting up, he's pretty hard to stop. So, but each team has their their players that you look to score, and then the other guys that you're looking to keep the puck out of the danger areas. So it's always a team effort. And like Nick said, trying to keep up with the guys in the upper level is very tough. But when they get out there and they showed it, they won the Warrior Classic, the USA Hockey Warrior Classic last year in Tampa. And when you watch them play, they absolutely dominated. And it wasn't because they were necessarily, better than the other teams. They just played better than everybody else. They were really that good. And because of that, they got moved up a division, but that'll happen. So,
Got it.
Yeah. So everybody brings a little something.
I think that's fantastic. I think it's great.
We'll have to set something up with the producer, maybe to take a trek on down.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely, for one of the events.
100%.
100%.
Yeah,
Get them on.
We got the approval, so there you go.
Yeah.
We'll bring all the followers that come through the Flagler Voice podcast, Facebook and stuff. I think that'll be a nice way for them to get some exposure as well, get it all out there.
I have a lot of favorite teams in all the respective sports, but I got to tell you, anything that says Team USA, that's my
Warrior. Yeah, team. Me too.
Warriors.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Does it get chippy with the different branches? Like, Air Force guy, Navy guy, do they get a little chippy defending the branch that they served?
Nah. It's more the other team. It's the team. It's not the branch. It's usually Central Florida against. There's some teams we mentioned one before we were on the air, but some of them come from a different area of the country. Nick knows this better than I do. Some of those Northeast teams are extremely hard to play against. So branch wise, we kind of mesh. We got a lot of Marines on the team. Sometimes you got to speak really slowly. Just make sure.
Shots fired.
Make sure that you get the head nod north and south, that they understand where you're going. But,
so anyone, gentlemen, that want to find out more about the Central Florida Warriors, just go to the website as far as
donating, things like that.
Being a sponsor, merchandise.
Yeah, absolutely. www.cfwarriorshockey.org. We have a donate button right at the top. There's email addresses all over it. You can email any of us. Facebook is where we're going to post all of our scores from our games. Anything we're doing is on our Facebook page. So just look up Central Florida Warriors Hockey. And you'll find us on there. Our colors are olive, drab, green, and black. So if you're confused about if it's us or not, just look for that. That's where we have it. We're always looking for sponsors, whether it's $50 or $50,000. We are a nonprofit, so everything's tax deductible. And everything that's given to us goes directly into program. Nobody gets paid. Everything goes into either running ice time, paying for tournaments. We're hoping to start, like I said, with going to 4 teams. We're hoping to be able to expand to 2 practices a month, one for kind of our upper 2-level teams and one for our lower 2-level teams, so they get more time on the ice at that skill level. Hiring coaches and things like that. So as you can imagine, it's an expensive business, but we appreciate anything anybody's willing to give us. Yeah. And we'll 100% keep you in the loop when we're in Daytona. We go there about every 3 months, so we rotate through. We were just in Daytona in August practice, so we'll be back in November, I think.
Okay.
Yep.
We'll make sure. We're definitely going to be following, that's for sure. And I'm definitely going to shoot you some emails and things. And when I'm out there looking for sponsors for us as well, I'll definitely drop the word and see if there's anything we can do to help.
Thank you.
Absolutely. We'll get on board with the Central Florida Warriors.
Yeah.
What a great thing. And it's coming up on their 5th anniversary.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Austin Holthouse, co-founder and vice president of operations, co-founder of, he's the vice president of hockey operations here with the Central Florida Warriors. And of course, part of the A team, that's a Warriors player, Nick La Viviane, who has joined us via live remote.
Yeah. Nick was in his car, in the library. He was
in
all
the library.
Over the place.
He's everywhere. He's multitasking.
And he must be in a Spectrum. He must be in a Spectrum-friendly area right now. So
this is not turning out to be. It's not a Spectrum commercial.
Yeah. Yeah,
as a whole.
We're gonna look. Hey, we're gonna look for them for some for some sponsorship for you guys.
That's right.
Thank you. Thank you,
Absolutely.
gentlemen.
Thank
you guys.
Thank you
you
both
so much for taking the time. We appreciate it.
And so, Tommy
Yep.
Thunder, that's a wrap on this one.
Yeah.
And I want to thank
This
you,
was
and I
well
want
worth
to thank our producer, Alan. I want to thank, once again, Austin Holthouse and Nick La Viviane as the Central Florida Warriors playing the game and playing
Come
it
to
well.
an ice rink near you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna come visit them.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Johnny
guys.
Monte Carlo.
Peace.
We'll see you
Thank
soon.
you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Things are truly better with us.